Well, happy Tuesday to all of you out there. I'm deep dish pizza enthusiast Edward Heller, and welcome to a Tuesday edition of Chicago Corner. With me today is Jerry Vasilatos, and we're hoping that his stuff is working today for us. Your mic is not on, Jerry, in case you're wondering. Um, we have a few things for the show today. The first one is we have that new mayor. Remember that Brandon Johnson guy? So he's going to have his first his first regular city council meeting. And where the hell is that thing? That's not it. Oh, here we go.
I'm still hearing the opening music intro. Can you hear me?
Really?
Yeah, it just went away. It just went away.
That's weird. That's a huge delay, Jerry. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
What do you want to bet my Astound RCN broadband is slow again?
It's very possible, Jerry. But we're going to move into the first story here. Mayor Brandon Johnson's first regular city council meeting is Wednesday, and this is from Block Club Chicago from Quinn Myers, and there's a link in the show notes if you want to get more information on that. It says older people are expected to vote on Johnson's picks to lead city council's committees and $51 million to help migrants. Mayor Brandon Johnson will preside over his first regular city council meeting Wednesday as he plans to install his hand-picked committee chairs and set the tone for his next 4 years in office. Johnson and all 50 alder people will convene 10 a.m. Wednesday, that's tomorrow, at City Hall, 121 North LaSalle Street. If you guys want to do public comment, they sometimes let people wait in line there, but it's always a pain if you aren't there in time. And a lot of times you have to go beforehand and give them a call and get on a list, and hopefully they'll make that process easier. But maybe that'll be one of the things they take up in city council, Jerry. The meeting is technically a continuation of last week's inauguration, which was recessed after Johnson, the city clerk and treasurer, and alder people were sworn into office. So this is technically still meeting number one. The meeting will be live streamed on the city clerk's website. I believe that's chiCityClerk.com. And for some reason, our show opener with the Spring Open did not have our Patreon supporter. So I just wanted to thank him at this time. Dominic Palella, Kathy Powers, Dr. Howard Ehrman, Shane Coughlin, Luke Kotramanis, and Derek Graham. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you'd like to support us at patreon.com/Chicago Corner, we'd really appreciate it because we do this for free, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we're probably running a deficit on this show right now. Well, I know my mental deficit is getting greater by the moment. So it looks like Jerry's still fighting the gremlins on his laptop. So I'm going to get through the rest of this story. We do have a special guest coming on. Hopefully, Jerry will have sorted out his gremlins by then so that we can have a proper conversation with our special guest coming on today, who is Veronica Arreola. And she is one of the 66 newly elected police district council members. I believe she's going to be in the 24th district council with two other people. There's 3 people per council, something like that. We'll get into that in a little bit on the show, but I'm going to finish this article here. If I can remember which tab I was reading. Yes. In the first official business for the new city council, alder people will take up a measure to allocate $51 million in city funds to help migrants. That's good news. Who have recently arrived in Chicago, as well as routine ordinances on zoning changes, parking and traffic regulations, and other funding, according to the public agenda. They're also expected to approve a new leadership structure supported by Johnson for the council's various committees. That vote follows months of political machinations between alderpeople and the Johnson administration over the balance of power in the city's legislative branch. Chicago's mayor has historically picked the committee chairs to maintain control over legislation moving through the council. In March, you may remember this, alderpeople approved a controversial plan to increase the number of city council committees and to choose leaders from their own ranks in a bid to declare independence from the mayor's office. Now, I think that would be a good idea. Obviously, our incoming mayor didn't do that initially, but maybe he would be open to that moving forward. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in this first meeting. It may launch Council Wars too, Jerry.
May or will?
It may. I'm going to go with maybe.
I hope you're right.
Yes, it's an absolute, definite, solid maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's possible, probable, okay, very likely, extremely likely that we're going to start Council Wars 2. I've evolved over the last 10 seconds, Jerry.
How so?
Because first I said maybe.
And now you said?
Now I said very likely.
Very likely, yeah. If Ray Lopez has anything to say about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump in the chat really quick here. Let's see who was in here. Miguel H gets the star for being the first one in the chat. Hey Miguel, how's it going? Extra Bulla Warren, good to see you. He says, I want tacos, but they are too far away. Isn't that always the way?
So now that I restarted my browser, let me tell you what's going on. By the way, yeah, the Spring Tuesday intro I never updated with our Patreon supporters. So when
we'll have to add that.
Yeah, we will. So I guess whatever's defaulted in the Tuesday tab, that's the video that we should go with.
Okay, Kathy Powers, one of our Patreon supporters. Good to see you. Who else is here? Arturo. He says, it's Chicago, Jake. And who else? Virand, good to see you. Hope you can stay up for the whole thing. Or wait, no, I'm thinking of the other person in our live chat who was on another time zone. Virand, what time zone are you in?
You're thinking about Big Mr. Firebird over
there. That's right. Big Mr. Firebird's the one who's like 6 or 7 hours ahead.
Yeah. He doesn't always.
Yeah. So, assuming you're going to be watching us later, hello out there to Big Mr. Firebird. Anthony Malecki says Bulla sent me. Welcome. See, we got referrals. See, that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. We support each other in independent media. And, anyone who's watching, you say, hey, there's two knuckleheads who talk about or are from Chicago, talk about things in Chicago, talk about things not in Chicago. And they got a whole YouTube channel. It's called Chicago Corner. You should check it out. And then share the link, preferably to one of our episodes that was a good one. So probably the Friday episodes that Jerry hosts, because my episodes are all train wrecks.
Yes,
on Tuesday.
Without any technical issues. Am I on a delay? Am I delayed when I talk?
I think you're good right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting pretty good. It seems like you're okay now. So whatever you did, just remember to do it again next time we have glitch problems, I guess.
I just want to make sure I'm not interrupting you, because every time I wait for a moment to talk, you talk. And then I'm like, am I in a delay? And we got that going on again. So.
No, I think we actually have a pretty good upstream downstream thing today. So let's knock on wood and cross our fingers for the rest of the show.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, so back to the article really quick. Let's see. Alderpeople approved a controversial plan to increase the number of city council meetings and choose leaders from their own ranks in a bid to declare independence from the mayor's office. But Johnson this month put his own plan in place to install many of his allies to lead city committees and increase the number of committees from 19 to 20. So yeah, that could be a point of contention at this continuation of the first meeting, where they may have issues with this, or it may be Like, well, we'll have we'll have the conversation and then we'll get to the bottom of it and figure out what makes sense for everybody. But I'm actually with city council on this one. They should be able to pick their own chairs, but I don't think they should do it at the expense or at the spite out of spite to the mayor, though, because that would make it hard for the mayor to get stuff done.
But that's why they're going to be doing it, because they're still not happy that he won.
Yeah. So again, I have upgraded from maybe to very likely we will see the start of Council Wars 2. And I probably should make a graphic for that when that happens. Potential chairs include Alderman Pat Dowell III to lead the influential Finance Committee, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, the 35th, to head the Zoning Committee. That's my guy. Dowell and Ramirez Rosa backed Johnson in the February 28th mayoral election and April 4th runoff against Paul Vallis. Oh, hey, Jerry, did you have a special video that you had ready to go?
Did you say Paul Vallis? Did you say Paul Vallis?
I did say Paul Vallis. Are we not ready to say Paul Vallis?
Let's see if my StreamYard cooperates as I'm trying to open up the share the screen.
Because I could just keep reading and then we could go back to that
you know
paragraph.
What? You did say Paul Vallis, and I want to share a video that was shared with me by a friend of the show, Nimesh Patel. So Nimesh shared with me a video from 4 years ago that had been produced on behalf of Paul Vallis. Chicago Corner's the time machine, right? Let's just start up the DeLorean and go back in time, as we did last Tuesday, showing Brandon Johnson 10 years ago and how a lot of what was happening then was kind of a prologue to where we are now. Nimesh found this video from 4 years ago, and I'm surprised they didn't decide to pull this out of the closet and run it again this election. But just to make it topical and updated, you'll see that I edited some points in this Paul Vallis video, and you'll be absolutely astonished at who comes out at the end to endorse Palos Paul. I don't know how they pulled it off, but enough for me. Let me play the video.
Is it playing? I don't hear anything, Jerry.
You're not hearing anything?
No.
Ed, did you say you're not hearing anything?
That's correct.
Okay, let me see if I can play the video itself without playing it through my browser. Hang on a second. And I think tonight's going to be the night I throw my laptop out the window after the program. Why don't you go ahead and buy some time while I wait on the overlord inside my Mac.
Okay, no problem. We're going to finish reading this article here. Okay. So, potential chairs. Okay, I read that paragraph. Johnson's picks also include several City Hall veterans who did not support him in the election, including Alderman Matt O'Shea of the 19th and Alderman Brian Hopkins of the 2nd. The new city council includes 13 new alder people after the last term saw a record number of retirements, with members leaning younger and more progressive. The body will also have the most LGBTQ plus officials out of any city council in the United States. Okay, so there was that. I'm not sure when our guest is going to be arriving, but we're expecting maybe within the next half hour or so. So let's see what else I got on my show notes that we can fill with in the meantime. Actually, I could start, you know what? I could start with the subject because this is this is kind of what we're going to be talking about here. Our guest coming up is like I said, is a new member of the Police District Council, which has 66 members. There's 3 members for each of the 22 police districts in Chicago. And where is that thing? Here we go. And I got an article from The Reader to explain that. This was from January of 2023 from Jim Daly of The Reader, who they had republished it a couple weeks later in Block Club. But here's the original article. And you can see there's a, if I don't screw up with my scrolling, there's a little photo here. It says protesters marched in the loop against police brutality and the murder of George Floyd on May 31st, 2020. And the article says, if I can get to the article here, there are more than 100 candidates vying for seats on Chicago's police district councils in the February 28th election. See, like I said, this was back in January. So that election happened, okay? These councils, like the citywide Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability, the CCPSA, were created by the 2021 Empowering Communities for Public Safety Ordinance. You like how they take all these like acronyms and these letter combinations and stuff so that they can come up with these little fancy letters and stuff for the different groups and organizations and stuff that they do. It's just kind of weird. All right. So these councils, like the Citywide Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability, or the CCPSA, were created by the 2021 Empowering Communities for Public Safety Ordinance, which the City Council passed in 2021 after years of community organizing. 66 council seats, 3 in each of Chicago's 22 police districts. Each council is made up of a chairperson, a community engagement coordinator, and a member of the citywide committee that nominates the CCPSA members. So, yeah, I mean, we're getting a little bit into the weeds of the bureaucracy that is Chicago, but and hopefully our guests will be able to explain the things that they are able to do in the police district councils. Okay. But this article kind of explains what they're supposed to do. It says each council is made up of a chairperson, a community engagement coordinator, and a member of the citywide committee that nominates CCPSA members. Council members are elected to 4-year terms beginning in 2023. They must live in the district and cannot have been a member of the Chicago Police Department, Independent Police Review Authority, Civilian Office of Police Accountability, or the police board for at least 3 years before they assume office. So that at least gives them a chance to not be co-opted by the departments that they're supposed to be observing or monitoring. So, okay. All right. So, yeah, Kathy confirms there was no audio from Jerry's video, so hopefully he'll be able to troubleshoot that shortly. Okay. If there is a vacancy on one of the councils, its members will submit 3 names to the CCPSA, which recommends 1 to the mayor for an appointment. So that's kind of interesting that one person in each police board can nominate a member to the CCPSA, but if there is a vacancy in the police board, a member of the CCPSA can submit 3 names for somebody to be appointed. So that's kind of a little weird and hinky. But I suppose you have to have that kind of thing in place. Okay, police district council responsibilities. Here's the good part. Community interaction and support. The police district councils are required to hold monthly meetings to discuss policing issues. They inform the community about the work the district councils and the commission are doing and gather input from the public about the public safety and policing in their communities. They're required to assist the public with such issues and help the community members request information about investigations from the police department and the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. What are the chances we can get stuff working for you today, Jerry?
Not very good, Ed.
Okay.
I can't see do you see me on your
Yeah.
I'm not seeing myself. There's something wrong with my, I don't know.
All right. I can see and hear you pretty well.
Okay.
And the response time is very fast. So
okay. It's got to be my Chrome.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've got that video on a Google Drive somewhere, maybe you can send me a link. I could try to play it, but
I didn't.
Otherwise, we can keep rolling with this article from the Reader. I'm on the second.
Keep going with the Reader. Let me see if I can get it going over here.
Okay. Now we're at police interaction and oversight is another of their responsibilities. Police district councils work with district commanders and community members to develop and implement community policing initiatives, and the councils are specifically tasked with developing and expanding restorative justice and similar programs. They're required to encourage police officers to help the community access resources, and they provide information to police about their work and the commission's work. Now, Arturo says, we can see and hear you, Jerry. Now, if you can reach out with your mind. Is that it?
I got nothing. It's not opening.
Yeah.
Everything's frozen there. I don't know how I can do a show with this constant computer issues.
See, Arturo, he can't reach out with his mind right now. So we're just keep rolling here. Okay, CCPSA input. Beginning in 2023, district councils will be able to nominate 14 candidates to the CCPSA, and the mayor will be required to select 7 from that list. The city council nominated 14 candidates to the current interim commission in 2022. The police district councils will send 1 member to quarterly and annual meetings with delegates from all 22 councils. Councils may report their findings and make policy recommendations to the CCPSA. So I don't know how it sounds like their powers are going to be somewhat limited, but we'll have to see what they're actually able to do as far as, how fast can they respond to things, or how fast can they make, requests or changes to things.
Ed, are you seeing me?
Yep, we can see you.
I have no control over everything's okay. Here we go. I'm back. Just forget the video. I want to be able to properly guide our interview with our guests coming up. So we'll see if we can get the Paul Vallis video for Friday.
Okay, that's no problemo. Just thought we'd have a little fun with that today, but that's all right. We got plenty to talk about today. Okay. The CCPSA responsibilities. Okay, so that we're already in we're past the police district council responsibilities at this point. Now the article gets into the CCPSA, who we're not really talking to, but we can go down and just so we know, it's like if the people in the police district council are going to be recommending people for the CCPSA, we should probably figure out what the CCPSA does as well.
Right.
Hiring and firing public safety administrators. Okay, that's a big one. When there is a vacancy of the police superintendent, police board members, or the COPA chief administrator, the CCPSA sends a list of candidates to the mayor, who selects one whom the city council confirms. The commission is responsible for hiring COPA's chief administrator, whom the city council confirms, and can fire them for cause. So, I want to say hello to Dominic. I saw you in the chat. If you made a comment on Rockfin, I'm not seeing it in the Rockfin chat. So I'm not sure if that's a glitch. Okay, so at the beginning of the year, the commission sets goals for the police superintendent and the department, COPA's chief administrator, the police board, and its president. At the end of the year, the commission will evaluate their performance. The commission can hold hearings about the police superintendent and the members of the police board and can take a vote of no confidence in them, which would require the city council to hold hearings and a vote, as well as a public response from the mayor. Okay, so again, this is the CCPSA, not the Police District Council. Okay, so Police Department policy oversight. General orders for CPD can be drafted by the department or the commission, but they require a majority vote by the commission to become policy. The commission will post draft policies on its website and invite public comment. The police department is still under federal consent decree. Are they? I don't know. And policies that are covered by it can't be set by the commission. The mayor can veto policies enacted by the commission, and the city council can override the veto by a 2/3 majority vote. Yeah, I know my head's spinning already with all of this. Okay. The commission works with police department on community policing programs and recommends solutions to the violence that are preventative, community-based, and include non-policing alternatives. The commission can make recommendations about what the public safety inspector general should audit. It also reviews the police department budget and can recommend changes to it before the city council votes on it. If the police department and commission disagree on a policy, there is a process to resolve differences and build consensus between them. Community engagement and transparency. The CCPSA must hold monthly meetings. It conducts outreach on relations between community and police, department policies and practices, and the department's accountability system. The commission can publish reports on matters of community concern, and it can require the police superintendent to answer questions in public and provide reports to the commission. The commission will appoint an advisory council made up of Chicago residents who do not have citizenship. What? What is that? Let me read that again. The commission will appoint an advisory council made up of Chicago residents who do not have citizenship. Okay. That's odd. So that commission is going to be what, Illinois residents? Kind of wish Jerry was on here, but I know he's troubleshooting here, because I would ask him about this, but maybe our upcoming guest knows if she's able to log in. I don't know if she is. But we'll keep rolling along. It's a little after 8:00 Central Time. If you're just joining us, I am Deep Dish Pizza enthusiast Edward Heller, and you are watching the Tuesday edition of Chicago Corner. Jerry is usually co-hosting with me, but he has been having some technical gremlin issues with his laptop, and we're hoping he can solve some of them in the near future. In the meantime, we're going to roll along with the things I have in my show notes that don't involve our upcoming guest, Veronica Arreola, who is the director of Hispanic Serving Institution Initiatives at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and was just elected to serve as one of the 66 newly elected police district council members for the 24th district. So she's also on the public safety subcommittee for Mayor Brandon Johnson's transition team. So she's already pretty busy, but we know that she's planning on joining us tonight if somebody managed to get the link to her to get onto the show. But in the meantime, I'm going to get down to another story here. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's cover the next story here. Here's an interesting one. Yellow-vested peacekeepers funded by the state will patrol Chicago streets on Memorial Day weekend. 30 members of a crisis prevention and response unit are set to help out at large street gatherings to try to help keep the peace. This is from Chicago Sun-Times, Frank Main.
Ed?
I can see you, Jerry. I can hear you too.
Hard reboot. The video's ready to load if you want to run it. I didn't know what you were buying time with because I can't see what's going on.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, let's take a break from the Yellow Vested Peacekeepers article. See if we could get this goofy Paul Vallis video playing because that's more important right now.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not. It's not. I'm just joking.
Yeah, the direction of I can't get a word in edgewise between the computer. The direction of the show we had to rearrange as we're trying to get stuff here. So let's see if this works.
Well, I hit the play button.
Okay.
And it's we got buffering going on here. Oh, wait, it's almost working. Come on, internet, help us out here. Oh, I hear music.
I'm not part of the pay-to-play political culture here.
Forget it.
Crime is rising.
It's not going to play smoothly. I don't want to blow it. Let's just save it for Friday. Everybody, yeah. I really apologize for all the technical issues. I've got a computer here that just does never want to be consistent, and I don't want to waste time talking about my technical issues, but I know how much it disrupts the program. I'm just as frustrated as everybody else. I just need to figure out how I'm going to afford a new computer so we can do this without professionally. So.
And if you'd like to help Jerry afford a new computer, you could be a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Chicago Corner. All right. So Yellow Vested Peacekeepers, funded by the state, will patrol Chicago streets on Memorial Day weekend. 30 members of a crisis prevention and response unit are set up to help out at large street gatherings to try and help keep the peace. If there's unrest downtown or mass shootings elsewhere in Chicago this Memorial Day holiday, often among the year's most violent weekends, a special team of 30, quote, peacekeepers wearing yellow vests will be mobilized to help calm things down, state officials said Tuesday. Governor J.B. Pritzker authorized funding the anti-violence strategy in 2021 when he signed the Reimagined Public Safety Act, creating the State Office of Firearm Violence Prevention. More than 500 people have been hired as peacekeepers, trained to de-escalate conflicts in 102 hot spots in 14 Chicago communities. They're on duty from Tuesday through Saturday. The money for the program in the current budget year, $11 million, is set to increase to $30 million in the next year, according to state records. Now, that's good news. They're actually making efforts on the state level to help us out with this, and they're actually giving more money to the program, Jerry. Okay. The program has ambitious goals. Including having 0 shooting victims in 70% of the more than 100 designated hotspots every 3 months. To date, Department of Human Services spokeswoman Marissa Collier said these standards are being met. From February 15th, when the program was launched, through April 15th, 90 of the 102 hotspots had 0 shootings, according to a study by the Center for Neighborhood Engaged Research and Science. Okay, well, that means 12 hotspots had shootings, though. Okay, I mean, what's a normal number? We need to aim for 0 on that, obviously. Okay. Yeah, Kathy Powers asks, what about Monday? Well, I guess they don't work on Mondays, Kathy. Guess they got to let the cops handle Mondays. Will they show up for NASCAR, she asks. That's a good question. Something tells me NASCAR may have to pay for additional security.
Oh, I think NASCAR is expecting the city to cover most of its expenses.
Yeah. I had a hunk of things for NASCAR, but we might save that for Friday. Because they keep adding new information, but none of it is like breaking news that we need to cover tonight. But let's see. The findings here are preliminary. Let's see. Oh, where did I leave off? Oh, yes. 90 of the 102 hotspots had 0 shootings, according to a study by Center for Neighborhood Engaged Research and Science, which also found that the other locations had 22 shootings, compared with 23 over the same period last year. 2 peacekeepers were wounded, 1 shot, and the other stabbed. The findings here are preliminary and in no way represent a causal relationship between the peacekeepers and violence reduction, said the study, which also described a wary and sometimes hostile connection between peacekeepers and police officers. Yeah, we kind of encountered that, I think, in another story where the issue was that the peacekeepers wanted to help and they weren't letting them. The police weren't letting them. And that had to do, I think, around the time.
It's on the south side.
Yeah.
Of course it was on the south side.
Yeah. And I think it was like, and they weren't letting them, weren't letting the peacekeepers help around the time that all those teens came downtown. Like the de-escalation is the point of this. There's a program. The state's actually funding it. That's good news. So it says, in addition to that larger program, the state is spending $750,000 on a crisis prevention and response unit of at least 30 specially trained peacekeepers. That unit is available 24 hours a day, every week to respond to shootings in Chicago, and will be active during the Memorial Day weekend. So there you go, Kathy. There are some of them are going to be 24/7. And that's according to the Department of Homeland Security, who's funding that program. So, okay. Well, at least there's money going toward certain types of a response that are de-escalatory. Is that the right word? Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least someone's getting the message, if not all. Those in the crisis units are trained in social media monitoring, crowd de-escalation, crisis interruption, and how to refer people to social service organizations for help, according to DHS. This expanded training equips violence prevention coordinators to operate beyond their typical neighborhoods to address other areas of potential conflict or crisis, such as recent large teen gatherings in downtown Chicago or mass casualty events, according to a written statement from Department of Homeland Security. Hundreds of outreach workers from other anti-violence organizations are expected to be on Chicago streets this weekend. Violence on the Memorial Day weekend. Excuse me. What happened here? These ads are jumping my screen all over
Between
the place.
ads and yeah.
Violence on the Memorial Day weekend could be high. Well, yeah, lots of things could be.
Well, that happens every year. Well, I think that they're being realistic about it, Ed.
Okay. Last year in Chicago, 9 people were killed and 40 were wounded in shootings from the Friday evening before the holiday through early Tuesday. 37 people were shot during the same period in 2021, and 49 were shot in 2020. Mayor Brandon Johnson, whose campaign included a promise to use civilian violence interruption programs, said of the peacekeepers' efforts, these individuals bring invaluable insight and knowledge that allow us to reduce conflict before it escalates, so we are proactive instead of reactive in addressing the causes of violent crime. Did you like my impression of Brandon Johnson? It sounds just like me. Most participants in the Peacekeepers program aren't full-time outreach workers with salaries. They're recruited in violent neighborhoods and get $100 daily stipend. Their supervisors get $150 a day. But the members of the 30-member crisis unit are full-time salaried employees, Kalia said. Okay. I think they should be paying those part-timers a little more. In my opinion, $100 a day is not a whole lot, but people are using it and making ends meet. Fine. Okay, is that it? Is that the end? No, there's more. Okay, here's a photo of Jalon Arthur. Jalon Arthur is. Who was Jalon Arthur? I think he's a head of the Illinois Peacekeepers program. I think that's who he is. Okay. On the street, Peacekeepers are also known as flip workers because the program is built on the flip model, FLIP, referring to flatlining violence inspires peace. Everybody's got to go with an acronym, right? Yeah. I know, Kathy. I got my issues with the DHS as well, but if they're throwing money at a program that isn't everything else they do, that is actually aimed toward the de-escalation and prevention, then fine. We can have criticism of how the program works and decide on whether they have ulterior motives, because it's always fun to go down that rabbit hole. I don't have all the reaction videos handy to me here, but I'm just gonna, so like let me do a take two here. It's always fun to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. I know, crickets, right? Yeah. I know. It's okay. It's all right. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the flip model. Flatlining violence inspires peace, which began as a privately funded strategy before the state took over. The state-funded program began in February. Some in the program still have a foothold in the gang world. They're expected to help keep things, quote, keep things cool when they see conflicts flare up. We are taking a calculated risk on people, providing opportunities to people often embroiled in violence. Tenny Gross, executive director of the Institute for Nonviolence Chicago, said of the Peacekeepers. For some of them, this will translate eventually to a more peaceful lifestyle for them and their communities. Lots of them eventually become full-time outreach workers. It says they're sometimes referred to as apprentice outreach workers. Okay. Why did that jump to the top here? Yeah, there's Tenny Gross from Institute of Nonviolence Chicago. And if I can get the scroll working properly here. Okay. Theo Hardiman, whose organization Violence Interrupters operates in South Austin, said he sees flip workers regularly stationed in dangerous blocks in North Lawndale, West Humboldt Park, and Englewood. They are visibly out there. They have the yellow vests, said Hardiman, who's planning to hold a peace circle at noon Monday in the 5300 block of West Quincy Street. It's always good to have boots on the ground to catch conflicts before they turn deadly. Oh, that's the end of that article. All right, so here I am, full screen in all my high definition glory, as we continue to make efforts to get Jerry back on the live stream. But I can keep moving down in the rest of the stories, and I should check into the chat to see if anybody's there. Okay, nobody chatting in the Rockfin yet. We are live, by the way, on Facebook and Rockfin and YouTube. I think we're even live on Jerry's LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter. So if you're tuning in and you're seeing us for the first time, head over to chicagocornertv.com. That's our website. And scroll down to the thing. See, there's a website address. Scroll down to the poll, to the viewer poll, and let us know where you're watching us from. If you are watching us on YouTube, click on the YouTube and then hit the vote. And then so we can get an idea where you're tuning in from. And also, while you're there, you can pick up a Brandon bingo card. We have a little generator link there. You just click through to the thing, and it will load up a bingo card for you. And we're going to track Brandon Johnson in his first 30 days or so, and see. We made a few predictions on those bingo cards to see what might happen in the coming days. I gave everybody fix the potholes in the center square. And then the rest of the squares are all different depending on the card that you got. So I don't know if we don't have anything to check off on the Brandon bingo yet, but we may have things tomorrow because it's going to be his first city council meeting. So while Jerry keeps troubleshooting his stuff there, I got a chat from Dominic over on Rockfin. If I can figure out how to bring that up, hold on. Where's my? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Dominic said, "Tip $2." Thank you, Dominic. Over on Rockfin. Police oversight panels are just ways to have citizens talk with each other and think they have a voice in government. They're never given any direct political power to hire or fire police department personnel. The mayor and city council are the only people who can reform police department. If you want reform, you have to replace those people at their next election. Constituentpolling.org. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, there's a bit of a, Dominic, there's a bit of a bureaucracy involved in the citizen police board stuff. What do we call it? In the police district councils, they're an advisory council to another advisory council. So yeah, there's a couple layers to go there, but it's another way to have citizens at least be able to interact with people. And we're hoping that maybe our guest tonight can be part of explaining what they can and can't do. And it looks like we have a guest coming up very shortly. Hopefully Jerry's got all the kinks worked out. Although it looks like I don't know if our guest is got a full connection yet. How's your connection, Jerry?
Veronica was texting me that she was having a tough time logging in. I don't know if that's because I got
really.
Maybe it's because I sent her a link from when I was connected. I just resent it to her. I see her here backstage, but it says device is not connected.
Yeah, I don't see a camera popping up.
Yeah, Veronica, I'm texting with her. Veronica, don't feel bad. This is like we have gremlins in our system, it seems. I see that she's there, but it says her device is not connected. So I'm going to text her here and see what's going on.
We're gonna knock you out, and hopefully you can log back in. And in the meantime, what was I talking about? No, I finished.
I don't know.
Talking about. I don't remember either. Well, we spent a little time talking about what police district councils do, and we already mentioned that Brandon Johnson is going to be having completing his first city council meeting tomorrow. And then what else did we have? We talked about yellow vested peacekeepers that are going to be in the city on Memorial Day weekend. And then we are getting into we have another article about medical students giving mobile courses on treating gunshot wounds and overdoses, because apparently people wanting to learn how to do that, especially when we have situations where things happen and we don't know how fast emergency response is going to get to you. So people are wanting to learn what they can do.
All right, Ed. So Veronica did not know that we were going to want her on camera.
She doesn't have to be.
I know. I just told her. I said I assumed it would be a webcam thing, but let me bring her in here and see if we can hear her, and at least be able to conduct the interview audio. Veronica, can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
There she is. Okay. So apologies for the. I guess the miscommunication, because we normally do this with webcam.
Okay, no problem.
So no, but I'm glad you're with us.
But also, like, my Wi-Fi is being very bad tonight for some reason.
What system are you on, Veronica?
RCN.
Same here.
I mean,
that explains everything going wrong with tonight. We're both on RCN.
It really does.
Okay, it's official. We're blaming RCN for tonight's technical difficulties.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah, your audio is a little bit scratchy. Hopefully, we'll be able to make out most of what you share. Another option is to reschedule it. It's up to you. How do you want us? I don't want you to be frustrated by the fact that we're getting scratchy audio from your side too.
Yeah, if you feel like we should reschedule, we can totally reschedule. I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi has been bad today.
Veronica, no apologies needed. You know what? Because as you speak, we're hearing static, and so it's going to be difficult for people to hear what you're saying. So why don't we?
Okay.
I have to troubleshoot my end, and then perhaps I can get with you, and we can have you on Friday's show, and we can do a little bit of a, I guess, more of a test ahead of time. Do you have a webcam?
Yeah. Okay. I have video.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Although everybody out there watching, we did spend a lot of time on the phone today talking in a pre-interview. I should have. We didn't have the show link ready yet to send you to test it. So anyway, Veronica, let's plan on doing the interview. Let's reschedule it so we can hear you without the scratchiness. And thank you for the effort. And again, apologies for all the technical problems we're having.
It happens. This is
okay.
What living in the future is all about.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you soon. I'll get back with you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Veronica. Okay.
All right. Well, it'll be better if we have good technical situation when we're talking to her anyway.
I just feel like the whole show tonight, not from any problems with either of us. Ed, you prepared everything great. We have a lineup. It's like literally where somebody's like kicking us in the nuts. Every button we push, every turn we take to advance the show. I am almost wondering if we don't just wrap it and just resume Friday. It's up to you, because I'm worried about every time I click on something on this end, my screen is freezing and I have no control over my browser. So anyway, let's. You tell me how you feel.
I'm also seeing I see this little still thing on our StreamYard that says, I don't even think my upstream is that good right now. Which
you're sounding bouncy too. Yeah, you're frozen now on my end, and you're freezing out.
I love you, baby. I wouldn't leave you. It wasn't my fault.
You miserable slug. You think you can talk your way out of this?
What's out in the live chat? How does that look to you all?
No, I didn't. Honest. I ran out of gas. I had a flat tire. I didn't have enough money for cab fare. My tux didn't come back from the cleaners. An old friend came in from out of town. Someone stole my car. There was an earthquake. A terrible flood. Locust. It wasn't my fault, I swear to God!
There was an earthquake, a terrible flood, locusts. It wasn't my fault, I swear to God. And yet, Jerry's probably just hearing it right now. because this is the weirdest thing. It's like you have a gremlin that specifically hates StreamYard because he can hear me in real time, but when I play the effects of the videos, he's got to be like 30 seconds behind.
The video plays twice. The video plays, I hear it, and then it ends, and then I hear all the audio again.
Wow.
So I think I need to like completely trash my Chrome browser, or maybe reinstall my system tomorrow, Ed. I
never had a chance to really take a look and see.
Yeah, I'm editing for clients here at home on my Premiere Pro. That's a memory hog. It's not on. Nothing else is on right now. I had problems with Premiere Pro today trying to get the Paul Vallis video ready. Yeah. And I it's my operating. I just don't know, short of like reinstalling my Big Sur. So I might have to just back up my system and try that tomorrow and see if we can, do something to like until I get a new computer.
All right. Well, in the meantime, when Veronica comes back on, we may have to revisit a couple of these articles just to refresh your memories on what a police district council does. But it'll be worthwhile hearing her version of that. Well, hopefully she'll have another meeting under her belt, and she'll be able to tell us a little more about what those involve and what she's able to do as a member of, 66 people who are now in that district council. So, all right, there was the medical students giving courses. I can read that article pretty quick. Rush medical students are teaching Chicagoans how to give CPR, administer Narcan, and bandage gunshot wounds while waiting for emergency help. This comes from Block Club Chicago, Mac Lederman. And, okay. So here we got Rush medical students teaching a fellow Chicagoan how to do CPR. Now, I learned how to do CPR in high school many, many moons ago. But I think in order to really be certified, you're supposed to get recertified every year or something. So, and there may be new ways to do it now than there were, 20, 30 years ago. So this is actually a good thing. Local medical students have designed a course to prepare Chicagoans to help people who are overdosing or have been shot. Rush University's Rush 911 program provides free training so people can give CPR, administer Narcan, help people who are hemorrhaging, and more in a bid to keep more people alive while first responders arrive, said Dr. Nicholas Cozy, a Rush professor and assistant EMS director overseeing medical students who teach the courses across Chicago. The 1 to 2 hour trainings are designed to teach bystanders life-saving skills without sometimes costly and time-consuming certifications, Cozy said. Demand is increasing as neighborhoods grapple with the opioid overdose crisis and violence, Cozy said. Chicagoans are starting to realize that these skills are relevant to everyone. We get requests every week for more classes. The group tries to do at least 3 or 4 trainings a month and has a wait list through mid-June. Wow. Classes have 10 to 30 people and can be taught anywhere in the city, Cozy said. The program has been brought directly to high school students, teachers, senior living facilities, community nonprofits, people in recovery, and city social workers, among others. People interested in hosting a class can email nicholascozy@rush.edu. Get that. Highlight that. Okay. Throw that in the chat. With basic information about the number of people expected to attend and available space to use and times that work for them, Cozy said. The trainings are free and available in English and Spanish. Okay. This says students are taught how to identify different types of traumatic bleeding where to apply pressure, and how to put on a tourniquet.
You sound like you're underwater right now. I don't know if I'm curious to know if our viewers can hear that too. I don't know if it's my end.
Guys, if my video is starting to crap out, please let us know in the live chat.
Yeah, Kathy said it looks good at 8:35, which was 5 minutes ago, but it could be my connection. But you sound like you're underwater to me, so that's what I was worried about.
Well, it's weird because I have an upstream of about 12 megabits, which is usually good enough for a live stream for me. But if Comcast, I'm on Crapcast, Xcrappity internet, and sometimes
Comcrap excrementally.
excrementally.
Okay,
yes.
Jimmy's confirming it. It's a bit laggy.
I have the excremental internet. Hang on a sec.
Hey, Jimmy.
I'm turning my camera off really quick. Maybe that'll improve my audio for the rest of this story.
Oh, the eternal optimist.
Well, I said maybe. although my opinion on the maybe may evolve. Okay. Most classes have been on the south and west sides, Cozy said, pointing to a recent study that found Black and Hispanic people are about 10 to 15% less likely to have CPR bystander training than white people. We need to bridge the gap so people can be the help before the help arrives, Cozy said. We're trying to increase access in any way we can, even if it's just with a sheet and a portable projector. Cozy, what?
You're almost breaking up.
I see that.
Yeah.
Do I sound better now with my camera off?
Not a big difference.
Yeah, Kathy's a little bit behind. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, Jimmy confirmed. Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit laggy. Okay, we need to bridge the gap so people can be the help before help arrives, Cozy said. We are trying to increase access in any way we can, even if it's just with a sheet and a portable projector. Cozy was pitched the program by third-year medical student Sam Schumann, who started a similar program in Houston as an undergraduate at Rice University. Schumann partnered with fellow medical student Brian Goldberg to get the trainings off the ground in Chicago, and now the 911 team has a rotating cast of medical students teaching the courses in any time they can spare, Cozy said. The students at Rush have partnered with the Chicago Recovery Alliance for trainings in Narcan, a medication that can reverse overdoses. Narcan access has expanded rapidly as fentanyl fuels Cook County's deadliest year of overdoses, but advocates say there is still a sizable gap between supplies and those willing and able to learn and use them. Here's a photo of Rush University medical students teaching people how to administer Narcan.
The picture isn't showing.
No.
Let's just wrap it up, man. I am. My stress levels are up to my roof right now. Not because
it's going to be. That's fine.
We want to give a good show. The screen isn't scrolling. You sound like you're underwater. It's just like
is my screen scrolling okay for you guys out there? Are we having issues?
Nothing has. There's no picture.
Choppy?
There's no picture showing. You're on text.
Really?
I'm seeing text. Yeah. Okay. Now the picture's showing. But we shouldn't keep look, I don't want our.
I know. We shouldn't be troubleshooting these technical things while the show is live, but right. I don't know how else we're going to know.
Well, all
right. So it's going to be a short show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're just going to wrap it up with a couple quick announcements. Now, I wanted to talk about the writer's strike and about AI, but I don't think time to tonight.
Let's just save it, man. You're underwater again.
We'll save it. So again, so if you have a chance in this coming weekend, Mole de Mayo Festival is Friday, May 26th through Sunday, May 28th. And it is free for all ages. So there's like going to be music, and obviously there's going to be mole. Lots of mole. Possibly other foods. So with that, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't care.
we're going to call it a night here as soon as I can figure out the buttons. So once again, thank you for joining us in this technical nightmare Tuesday edition of Chicago Corner. I want to thank Jerry for trying to stick with the program as long as possible while he battled the gremlins on his computer and internet connection. And ladies and gentlemen, have a pleasant evening, and take care of each other. Hydrate, drink plenty of fluids, and tune in on Friday, 7:30 p.m. Central.
We hope.
Where hopefully we've destroyed the demons that continue to plague this live stream.
You know what's going to happen, Ed? I'm not going to be spending the next 24 hours probably reinstalling my system to see if that makes a difference. Reinstalling my operating system, because I don't know what else to do. But we'll talk after the show. Anyway, thanks everybody for being patient. Veronica, we're really sorry we couldn't finally have you on tonight. We're going to work out our technical issues, and hopefully we'll be back Friday. Keep an eye on our Twitter, our Facebook, our Chicago Corner TV.com or ChicagoCorner.tv website for updates, and we hope we will be back on Friday as soon as we sort this stuff out.
And if you'd like to support us and maybe help Jerry to buy a new laptop or some type of gremlin assault weapon that will kill the gremlins in his internet connection, and not humans, just the gremlins, patreon.com/Chicago Corner. Thank you to everyone supporting us and sharing this live stream. We hope that the next one will be less of a technical nightmare. And thank you for watching.
Fuck this noise, man.
Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. If you would like to be a guest on Chicago Corner, please email our host, Jerry, at chicagocorner.tv.
The technical difficulties you have experienced this evening were brought to you by P.L. Sullivan's International Chicken Wing and Currency Exchange. P.L. Sullivan's, behind that one alley. You know the one.